Welcome to the Jacksonville, Florida Tree Plotter and Canopy Planner tutorial. In the fall of 2017, an urban tree canopy assessment was completed by Planet Geo, providing an accurate and comprehensive survey of the urban forest in Jacksonville. The tool that will be demonstrated here allows the user to interact with the data produced by the survey, as well as plan out future tree planting projects. Similar canopy assessments have been performed, and similar interactive tools have been developed for hundreds of communities across the country and have helped to change the dynamics of their urban forests. With the canopy assessment complete, the City of Jacksonville can ensure the health and vitality of their urban forest by making use of Tree Plotter and Canopy Planner tools. Planet Geo is a full-service geospatial technology firm specializing in urban forestry, planning, and natural resources. They are based in the Denver, Colorado area with satellite offices throughout the United States. They not only perform GIS-based tree canopy assessments, but they also build and develop online interactive web applications used to interact with canopy assessment data, inventory trees, analyze the ecosystem benefits that trees provide, and manage and plan your current and future urban forest. Their suite of tools is known collectively as the Urban Forest Cloud. Jax Digs Trees is a collaborative community initiative based in Jacksonville, Florida, where organizations and individuals can come together to support the growth and protection of our city's tree canopy. You can visit jaxdigstrees.org for more information. So, why does this tool matter and how can you use it? These tools are part of a broader campaign to revolutionize Duval County's urban forest. Knowing the current state of our canopy provides the baseline we require to identify areas of need and prioritize tree planting projects over time. These applications will allow stakeholders to visualize existing land cover, create custom-weighted priority planting maps, and track tree planting without intensive training or GIS skills. The survey's online mapping tools will incorporate individual tree inventory data gathered over time by individuals with landscape scale data. These applications will also provide the users with the tools to map, inventory, search, update, and quantify environmental economic benefits based on iTree research. To access the applications, a link is provided at jaxdigstrees.org, or use the link at the bottom of this slide. Let's now get started with the Jacksonville, Florida Tree Plotter application. There are two main elements of the tool: the tree map and canopy planner. The tree map is used primarily for planning and tracking new tree plantings, while canopy planner is used to view the current distribution of canopy cover and available planting space and plan and prioritize new tree plantings based on different criteria. To directly start adding trees or planting sites to the map, users with the appropriate credentials can use the Add a Tree button, found right here. And to get more information on the tool and overall project, use the Learn More button. As you add trees to the map, you will notice that the tree counter increases. To start, let's go to the Canopy Planner tool to take a look at the results of the urban tree canopy assessment that were recently completed. There are three elements to Canopy Planner: view, plan, and grow. For each element, on the left-hand side of the app, there is additional background information to learn more about the assessment process and tool functionalities, as well as quick instructional videos on how to use the tool. Let's click the Launch View Tool button to get started. The View tab is used to see the distribution of % tree canopy cover and available planting space. The first thing that I'll do is select the geography that I'm interested in. Census block groups are one of the smallest geographies and are defined by the U.S. Census Bureau as containing between 600 and 3,000 residents. Land use describes the ways in which humans make use of and manage land and its resources. It can be particularly useful for looking at the differences in canopy cover and available planting space between residential, commercial, and industrial properties. City council districts show the areas that your individual city council members represent within Jacksonville. Finally, the development boundaries break the city into differing service levels, such as downtown, urban priority area, and rural areas of the city. So after selecting the geography that you're interested in, select whether you want to view the geography by the percentage of urban tree canopy or percentage of possible planting area within each boundary using the radio buttons found next to each data set. Next, use the slider bars to filter the values shown on the map. If we slide the minimum value for tree canopy to 60%, we are now looking at the areas within Jacksonville that have the highest canopy cover. You can use the reset button to clear this filter. We can also do the same thing for possible planting area and look at the areas that have the highest percentage of possible planting area. It's also possible to filter the data using both figures so we can find areas of the city with low tree canopy cover and high possible total planting area. While we are looking at the map window, there's a blue toolbar in the top left corner that has some helpful features. The buttons on this toolbar allow you to zoom in and out. You can also use the scroll wheel of your mouse if you have one. The next button zooms you to the home extent or the Jacksonville city boundary. The next button can be used to zoom the map to your location. And this is particularly useful if you're out in the field surveying new planting sites. The next button can be used to search for a location. And the next button allows you to filter the data that are shown on the map. And finally, the last button allows you to change the base map to show a street map, aerial imagery, or other types of underlying information. The Plan tab is used to weight and prioritize criteria to determine suitability for planting. Again, the first step in this tab is to select a geography. Only census block groups and city council districts are available in the Plan tab. Step 2 is to set weight priorities for the provided environmental, demographic, socioeconomic, and ecosystem benefit categories. More information on each category can be found by hovering your mouse over the question mark icon next to each category. If we are interested in seeing the areas that are most impacted by the urban heat island effect and have higher percentages of residents living below the poverty line, we can set all weight priorities to none, and then set the individual weights for urban heat island and underserved population to low. Then we can filter the data to show priority areas using the slider below. The Grow tool is designed to help evaluate potential urban tree canopy goals and the number of trees needed to reach that goal. Again, start by selecting a geography, then click to turn on Paint Canopy Goals. Choose whether you want to grow to a target canopy percentage or increase canopy by a certain percentage. Then set your canopy percentage or amount to increase percentage by. For example purposes, we will set our target canopy percent to 20%. Then what you'll want to do is change the average tree crown diameter depending on the types of trees you may want to plant. In this example, we'll leave this at a 30-foot crown diameter. Now you're ready to run the Grow tool. To do this, zoom into your area of interest. In this case, we'll go to the area where McCoy Creek runs through downtown Jacksonville. You can see that the current tree canopy coverage is 18%. With your mouse hovering over the census block group, press the G key on your keyboard. Now you can see that for this hypothetical situation of growing the tree canopy in this census block group to 20%, we would need to plant 726 30-foot crown diameter trees. If you made a mistake and want to remove the geography, you can use the Reset button found in the left-hand panel, or you can hit the R key on your keyboard to remove this boundary. Now, again, use the G key to put that back in place. So with this scenario, we can look at the modeled tree canopy by scrolling down on the left-hand panel here. We can also look at the modeled ecosystem benefits. We can look at the urban forest overall. We can look at the benefits provided for air quality. And we can also look at the benefits for carbon sequestration. We can also take a look at a detailed grow report. We can print this report. And we can also save the scenario to share with others. And that is the Canopy Planner tool in a nutshell. Each tool has more detailed instructions if you need any more information on how to use each individual tool. So now let's jump into the tree map. To get back to the home screen of the tool, we can use the Home button in the upper left corner. Then we can click on Tree Map to take a look at any proposed planting sites or inventoried trees. The map legend can be used to do several things to the points on the map. The first thing is that you can display your points using several different attributes that can be assigned when adding a tree point. By default, we are viewing the points by tree species, but we can also look at the condition of the tree. We can look at the diameter at breast height, the land use category, if the site is part of a planting project, we can view the sites by planting project as well. And we can also look at the status of tree or planting sites. We can also change the symbology of the points on the map using the DBH field so that larger diameter trees appear with larger points. We can also use the legend to toggle on or off different subsets of data. For instance, if I'm only interested in seeing where the proposed planting sites are versus planted trees, I can turn off the alive trees, and I'm only looking at the proposed sites now. The pie and bar charts are also useful for looking at the distribution of points actively displayed on the map. In order to add a tree or planting site, you must be logged in. If you are interested in obtaining a login, please contact the app administrator, John November. His contact information will be provided at the end of this tutorial. There are several different login levels. The admin login level has full access to the app. They can edit any and all data. They can also make large changes to the database, and they can add or change user permissions. The user login level has editing abilities for all data. However, they are restricted from using tools like the mass updater and uploader, and are also restricted from adding users or changing user permissions. The read-only login level has access to view all app data, but no ability to add or move points or change existing data fields. For this tutorial's purposes, we are logged in as an administrator. To start adding points to the map, we can click the Add a Tree button from the home screen, or we can use the Add button in the top right corner. When I hit the Add button, we are now presented with several templates that we can use, or we can select No Template. The templates save you a little bit of time by pre-filling certain fields. Let's start by selecting Planting Site Medium for our proposed planting site. We can now zoom into our area of interest and drop a point. We'll go back to the area around McCoy Creek. Just west of downtown. And we can also use the Where To button to search for a location if you have difficulties navigating there. Then we can zoom in a little bit further and find an area that has open plantable space and drop the point by clicking once on the map. We are then presented with a data table where we can fill out any number of fields to describe this planting site. The status is already filled out since we used the proposed site template. If you know what type of tree you're going to plant, you can fill out the common name. The Latin name and genus will automatically be filled in once you do that. For our purposes, since it's a proposed site, we will leave the common name field blank. But an important field that you may want to fill out is under the Location tab. You can see that the address fields are auto-populated, but you may want to set the planting project field if this site is part of an organized planting project. You'll see a list of existing planting projects by typing, but only if you have the appropriate permissions. You can add a planting project by typing in its name if that one does not already exist. For our purposes, we'll use the McCoy Creek Boulevard planting project. If you are planning on planting multiple trees in the area and you want to have it use the same attributes as the last point, you can add another point to the map and then simply click on the Load Last button found at the top of the Tree Details window. Now you can see that it has the exact same values filled out as the last point. When you're done adding trees or planting sites, click on the Add button again to stop adding trees. Now let's walk through that one more time, just so you get the hang of it. To add a tree, I will click the Add button. I will again use a planting site medium. And in this case, my area of interest is around the Jefferson Street station. And I'll zoom in to that area. Left click once on where I want to put a tree, and then fill out any values that you're interested in having data on. And if you're interested, again, in seeing where your planting projects are, you can come into the legend and display by planting project. And I'll use this Home Extent button to zoom out so that I can see where are the planting projects. And you can also turn off the not specified points. And now you can see we have 3 planting sites at the Jefferson Street Station planting project and 4 at the McCoy Creek Boulevard planting project. There are many other tools that can be used when planning and mapping planting projects. Click on the Tools button in the upper left corner. Then click on Measure and Graphics. The Draw tool allows us to draw on the map. Anything that is added through the Draw tool is temporary and will not remain in the map after you close the application. However, it can be useful to draw a boundary for a planting project. I'll change the type polygon. I'll change the type to polygon and then click on the map to draw the boundary. And I double click to finish the drawing. Click Stop Drawing if you're finished drawing and want to start adding points to the map again. You can also use the Measure tool to measure the distance between planting sites. If I want my planting sites that I added previously to be 10 feet apart, I can start measuring and click on the left point and then the right point. It looks like my points are over 20 feet apart. So I'll stop measuring and then click on the Move tool in the upper right corner. And now I can select a point and drag it a little bit closer to get it to about 10 feet apart. We can also print this map using the Print tool. And to clear any measurements, we'll use the Delete All Measurements so that does not show up on our printout. So we'll click on the Print and Map Labels button and then Print. I'll leave the file type as a JPEG. I'll give the map a title. I'll add in a legend, scale bar, and I'll change the file name. And then we can click Print. And we get a map that you can now send to colleagues for their review. You can also save a custom interactive map by clicking My Data and then Save Custom Interactive Map. This will give you a hyperlink that you can share with colleagues so that they can see the planting sites that you have added. Keep in mind that any drawings you add to the map will not show up on their screen. You can also export any and all points from the map to a CSV or shapefile to be used in a traditional desktop GIS using the Exporter tool. Another useful feature of Tree Plotter is the Stats tool. You can look at the breakdown of trees in your urban forest based on different fields. You can view all kinds of charts and graphs. You can also print reports. And you can also analyze the benefits provided by trees that have been added to the map. The stats tool becomes increasingly useful as you add more and more planting sites and eventually actual trees. There are many resources out there for more information on each of the tools that we went over today, as well as others that we did not cover. Most features in the app have a read instructions function that can help you understand how to use a tool. There are also YouTube videos for video instructions. If you still need assistance, you can contact the Community Project Manager, John November, at john@publictrustlaw.org. Thanks for listening and caring about the future of Duval County's urban forest.